Hi, Kevin Henry, the Group Editorial Director for UBM Advanstar's Dental Division, and I'm on a Google Hangout today with Don Jackson of Suni Imaging. Hi, Don. How are you today?
I'm doing great, Kevin. Thanks for the call.
Absolutely. Would you tell our viewers just a little bit about yourself?
Well, like I said, my name is Don Jackson. I'm the Vice President of Sales and Business Development for Suni. Suni's been in business this is our 20th year of making sensors out of Silicon Valley in San Jose. We ship our sensors to over 140 countries throughout the world, and I've been involved with them for about the last 16 years of that. And prior to that, I was been 15 years in other dental equipment like lasers and curing lights, intraoral cameras, and that kind of thing, all the high technology stuff.
Well, let's talk a little bit about sensors. Let's focus on that today. And Don, if a dental practice is thinking about switching up their brand of sensors, what is something that you feel like they should really look for? What's kind of that key component to know if a sensor is right for their practice?
Well, that's a good question, Kevin. When you get into digital X-ray is not new. As I just mentioned, we've been doing it for over 20 years. And on the market, about 2/3 of the market have digital at this point. Some markets may be higher than that, but others may be a bit lower than that. But overall, they have digital X-ray. Digital X-ray comes in two forms. They come in direct sensors, which is what we make, and then there's a phosphorus plate, which is something that looks similar to film, but then you take it and you put it in a scanner, and then you scan it in, and it becomes digital at that point. When you get into digital sensors, there's some components that you have to be, compatible with. You have the sensor itself, then you have the connectivity of the way it connects to the computer, and then you have the imaging software itself and what sensors and things like that it works with, and then of course that should integrate into your practice management. With Suni, our sensors and our imaging software we call Professor Suni, and it is written for us by Apteryx. We feel, and it is by any stretch of imagination, the most powerful imaging software for dentistry on the planet. It's powerful because it's open architecture. It works with most devices. It works with any intraoral camera, any digital sensor for the most part, and for any digital pan and any scanner, phosphorus plate system, and it works with any one of those. So it's not closed in or what we call proprietary. Some of the imaging programs, if you're using a particular device, let's say that you're using Dentrix imaging or something like that, or EagleSoft imaging or Kodak imaging, all fine programs on themselves, but they're pretty well proprietary or closed architecture. They don't work directly with most of the other sensors that they don't sell. So there's two types of imaging software. There's the open architecture, and then there's the proprietary or closed in. And our software is open. It works with just about everything. And then the sensor itself, I think sensor designs, like I said, sensors have been out for about 20 years. The technology has advanced some. They've gotten smaller, faster. The resolution's improved. The prices probably stayed about the same, probably gone up somewhat. It's not come down in price. If anything, it's gone up. And the quality and everything that goes along with it is also improved.
Can you tell me a little bit about how, so often technology is seen as a dentist decision, but it really is something that it affects the entire team. So maybe what's a suggestion on how the dentist should pull the team in, and maybe they could figure out if this sensor or whatever is right for their practice?
Well, obviously, another good question, Kevin. If you're using film, and that makes up a big part of it, and they haven't switched to digital over the last 20 years, what are we going to get them to go over? What makes them want to convert to digital? A lot of times now, though, with I didn't have a computer in the office, it was expensive, it was a change, they were afraid of change. But digital is really, once they go to it, I've had more and more accounts that said, I don't know why we kept holding off and going digital. I guess we were afraid of it. But as they get it in, they feel more comfortable with it, and they always say, well, I don't know why I waited so long. Because obviously your x-rays come up instantaneous. Within a few seconds, your x-ray is up on the screen, no going back and forth to the dark room. There's no losing an x-ray, where if you drop an x-ray and you pick it up in the hallway, you don't know who it belongs to or when it was taken. So with direct sensors, with direct sensors, you don't have that problem at all. And then when you get into the insurance claims, you just copy a file and electronically transmit it in. And of course, the electronic records are becoming almost mandated with a lot of insurance companies. If you're going to file a claim electronically, you need to be able to send the X-ray in digitally as well. And then, of course, the cost of the chemicals is going up. It's a hazardous waste. So the environmentalists are making a big push, and the cost to dispose the chemicals is getting higher. Plus, you maintain the processor, a dark room, and all the time involved with it. So digital uses a lot less radiation from the patient standpoint. That's the big thing. And one thing that we do at Suni is we strive ourselves on trying to keep technology in a balance between technology and actual radiation levels, to keep the radiation as low as we possibly can for the patient and the children's sake. So with our sensors, we're going to be down around 62 kilovolts at 0.04 to 06 in your time, which is considerably lower than film. So it's very safe for the patient.
And last question for you, Don. I just kind of wanted to let you, I know you touched on this a little bit earlier, but just kind of, give us that pitch on why Suni is the sensor of choice in your opinion.
All righty. I'll be glad to do that. When you get into sensor design, this is our newest sensor. It's our Suni Ray 2, and it is a high-resolution sensor. And you'll notice that there is an interface built into the cable. This comes down about 3 feet, and then from here we plug in a USB cable to the computer. We could have taken a design. A lot of the trend now is to take the sensor and shrink the interface down and put it inside the chip, make it smaller and have a direct USB connection. The problem with that design, and we could have went that way, was that it makes cost of repair. If that board should fail inside the housing here, it's a very expensive repair to send it in and have that replaced. Plus, if you damage the USB connection, you have to send it in and get it repaired, and it's very expensive. So in order to keep reliability and durability, the sensor lasts maintenance-free for many, many years, we decided to, rather than gain a little bit of weight or lose a little bit of weight by shrinking this down and put it in here, we kept it separate into the interface module itself. It doesn't make up that much, add additional weight or that much bulk. It's very light and durable. It comes in 2 sizes. Comes in a size 2 and a size cost. And if that connection should fail, you can repair it very easily. Plus, we have the troubleshooting lights or feedback lights, so letting you know it's got power, it's taking X-rays, it's ready for the next one. So this design, we think, in the CR report, rated it very high with the original Suni Ray. This is a Suni Ray 2 that hadn't been tested yet, but we feel that it'll exceed the excellent rating that we got from the CR report. But in any case, it also gives you the ability to have irreplaceable cables from here to the computer, either 3 feet up to 15 foot long. And if you damage that cable, then it's very low cost to repair or to replace. And so we think by the design, keeping it that way, and by the Suni brand, as I mentioned, we've been doing this a long time. Digital sensors is all we make, and we think we're the best at what we do. And we'll hold up our sensor, and we think that we also, on top of that, as all we make is digital sensors, is our price value is the best you'll find on the market. And plus the radiation levels that it will use for the patient's benefit is also the lowest. You won't find a sensor that will use less radiation to get a high quality diagnostic image.
Don, hey, really appreciate all the information. Can you give our viewers a little bit more information on if they want to reach out to you about Suni technology and how they can learn more about it?
Yeah, glad to, Kevin. Yeah, they can reach us at 800-GET-SUNI, or you can visit our website at suni.com. We have all our information there and educational material available there. And so we're on Facebook and all the other different social medias as well. But the easiest way is through the website or by calling the 800-GET-SUNI.